Do you want to get better at BattleBox? Well, today we're going to go through 5 tips to get much better at BattleBox. I can't promise you're going to win every game, but I can guarantee you will improve your skill and your game sense. Anyway, let's begin the video with tip number 1, and that's going to be chests. The looting in this game is very similar to games such as Sky Wars on Hypixel, in which case, the closer to the center you are, the better loot you're going to be collecting from chests. On your spawn island, you have like a couple chests that you can collect. Really, there's not that good of items on there, so if you can get out of your spawn island as early as possible, you're going to be getting better loot than everybody else and therefore have a good advantage. This is very useful, especially if you aren't that comfortable with fighting people. Having better loot than them will increase your chances of just demolishing them. As well as this will also help versing 2 people at once. Tip number 2, that is PvP. And what I mean by this isn't just PvP in general. There's lots of tutorials online on how to beat people in 1.9 and above PvP. Well, what I'm actually going to be discussing is just how to defeat other people. You have a high chance of killing someone if you have a teammate with you, which is really useful with PvP. If you can have a teammate near you, go for it, because you're going to have a much higher chance of beating that enemy. As well as this, using 1.9 PvP, it's not similar to 1.8 PvP, where you can easily take 2 people on at once. If you do try to take multiple people on at once, there's a very high chance you will get destroyed, because they both team on you and they both get you in the corner. You're done for. Well, what are you going to do with this? First of all, you can look for a teammate to help you. Second of all, you can try separating them or something like that. Tip number 3, that's going to be secret chests. I don't know if many people know this, but around the map you'll find secret chests like on top of things, stuff like that contain very good loot. If you can take advantage of this and get there first, you will have much better stuff than the next person. If you can get really good chests, which links back to tip number 1, about getting the best chests as possible. This includes getting those secret chests on top of that balloon over there, or stuff like that, because you can get really good loot out of this and it will increase your chances of winning a lot. Tip number 4 is going to be crowd control. If you can control over where everybody is, take information in on where everybody is, then you can prepare for your next fight. For example, if you can separate the enemies so you don't have to take them all on at once, that will be much better rather than just, oh, I'm just going to walk over here and start fighting this guy. Use your information to win more engagement. If you can, try to separate your enemies up. If there's 2 of them, try to get in a position where you're only fighting one at once and then you can go for the other, as this will mean you're not taking 2 people on at once. If you were, you would be taking twice the damage and only dealing half the damage. That is as well why you should always make sure you're close to your teammates so they can help you. Now, tip number 5 is bridging. If you can bridge fast, that's useful. Now, I'm not going to go into how to bridge fast, there's lots of tutorials online as well, but by being aware of where you're bridging, how you're bridging, is going to be very good. This tip links back to the crowd control and gathering information. If I can see that there's people looking over in my direction, I'm not going to stop bridging, I'll just get knocked off. You want to make sure you're bridging when there's not many people near you and you're bridging as fast as possible. This will mean you have less chances of just getting knocked off and then having to wait a very long time to get into another game. Now, a quick honourable mention. One of the greatest items to use inside of BattleBox is definitely going to be, I'm sorry, I forgot its name. It's the thing where you can fly. Basically, you get knocked off. If you can quickly have a hotkey to switch to this, it will be really useful. I can just press, say, B on my keyboard. All of a sudden, I'm using that item and I can fly up from getting knocked off. This links back to bridging. It's a safeguard for if you get knocked off. You can fly back up and then regather. You definitely want to be able to fly up to high points to have the high ground. It's going to be very useful. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed these tips. They are very useful. I use them in a lot of games and I win a lot of my games. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And I will see you in the next video.